Hi there. Are you having a lot of bad hair days with your Hashimoto's? Are you wondering what is going on with the texture of your hair? Maybe it's falling out. Maybe you just don't feel like your hair is like it used to be. Well, I can tell you that hair loss and hair problems are very common with Hashimoto's. In fact, I've written an entire blog post all about the relationship between hair problems and Hashimoto's. You can find that article at sarapeternell.com. I'm Sara Peternell. I'm the owner of Family Nutrition Services in Denver, Colorado. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to answer a couple of your top questions about why hair loss and Hashimoto's may be related. So the main thing is that when we're going through Hashimoto's, especially in early stages, close to diagnosis, or maybe you've even been dealing with Hashimoto's for years, once hair loss becomes an issue, finally, it starts to feel like maybe your internal illness that you've been dealing with is now external, and people can see that you're actually experiencing symptoms of ill health. And this is concerning because obviously we not only want to feel our best, but we also want to look our best. And when hair issues start to get in the way of our optimal health, but also of our self-esteem and how we and ourselves and the world view us, it really starts to create some bigger picture problems. And I know this because I've been there. My worst hair situation was actually in the months following the birth of my son Clay, when I was going through extreme postpartum thyroiditis. My hair was insane. It was bristly and brittle. It was crazy, frizzy, curly. The texture and the color was totally unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I had to try really hard to find a great hairstylist to help me get through that time. But the bottom line is that changes to your hair as a relationship to Hashimoto's usually has to do with nutrient deficiencies. So it is common for hair to fall out or for hair to change with a Hashimoto's diagnosis or with postpartum thyroiditis following giving birth to a child if you have Hashimoto's. In fact, about 63% of Hashimoto's patients report having issues with their hair. So this is really, really common, and I want you to know, first and foremost, you are not alone, my friend. So what happens? Why is the thyroid related to hair? Okay, so basically your thyroid hormones, the ones that you're making and probably the ones that you're taking, T3 and T4, actually stimulate the health of the hair follicle, where the body manufactures the production of keratin. This is the key ingredient to healthy hair. So these hormones, T3 and T4, are responsible for supporting the healthy production of keratin. And if you're having thyroid hormone production issues, or you're not being, managed properly with your prescription thyroid hormone replacement medication, well, you probably just don't have those raw materials, those raw hormone resources available to help your body produce healthy hair. So these hormones not only help support the production of keratin, they also help to prolong the phase of growth in what we call the life cycle of hair. All right, so thyroid hormones are really part of the growth process, the growth prolongment period, and also thyroid hormones help to trigger the synthesis of something called melanin in hair, which gives hair its beautiful color. Okay, depending on what color hair you have, that color is responsible or partly responsible to the availability of the thyroid hormones. So this is not necessarily a symptom that a lot of people experience, but I certainly have. In addition to brittle, dry, and also hair loss, I've also experienced at times premature graying. You can see it If you're really close, it's a little bit hidden because I have blonde highlights in my hair. But because of the issues that I have dealt with my thyroid, I have certainly seen some of the premature graying, premature silvering of my hair as early as when I was in my late 30s. So this is actually pretty common with both hyper and hypothyroid issues. And again, it's because of the melanin in the hair. Now, the whole hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis is responsible for the main health not only of the endocrine system, and it helps to support your nervous system, but it also works really synergistically with basically the hormones that are secreted by the cell's mitochondria in every single cell of your body. Do you remember studying the mitochondria when you were in school and learning that it is the powerhouse or the battery pack of the cell? Well, if the mitochondria in the follicles of the hair, if they are not working properly, and also if they're not working properly elsewhere in the body, basically they will reserve their energy or their power or their backup battery to support the places where energy is needed most, and it's not in growing your hair. So the thyroid can kind of like down regulate the communication from the HPT axis or from the brain to from the thyroid to the hair follicles, and basically say like, hey man, we need this energy that you would otherwise be spending on growing hair, luscious, beautiful hair. We need this energy for other things. So here's the things that we know about low nutrients and the relationship between the thyroid and your hair. There are nutrient deficiencies that when they become a problem for a person, they can actually lead to more hair loss, hair texture, hair color problems and changes, most of which really are related to the dysfunctioning of the thyroid gland related to these nutritional deficiencies. The first one is iron deficiency. So ferritin, which is the blood protein that contains iron, may be low in both a hypothyroid person and those with hair loss. So ferritin is stored in other places in the body, but it's also stored in hair follicles. So when iron stores in the body get low, that ferritin may be called on from hair stores to deliver iron to the other areas of the body that have the greatest need for iron. So that leaves the hair without the necessary ferritin, and it creates a weaker hair follicle overall. So in order to help restore hair loss, one of the things that is very true is that replenishing iron stores through a high-quality, meat-rich, red meat, grass-fed beef, bison, elk, venison, ostrich, lamb, etc., is one of the best ways to really start to restore those iron levels. And many people, women especially, as they start to see ferritin levels climb above 50 or 70 ng per milliliter, they may start to see that their hair changes resolve, that their hair starts to grow again, and I personally have found that to be true as well. The second nutrient is biotin, which is a B vitamin, and sometimes we call it vitamin H, even though it is a B vitamin, and it is a critical nutrient for hair health as well as skin and nails. So oftentimes you'll see a lot of supplements in the health food store that are advertised as like hair, skin, and nail formula. So they contain biotin typically, and it is because biotin really helps improve the body's use of keratin. So you may be looking for foods that are rich in biotin, including things like peanuts, tomatoes, eggs, nuts, seeds, and legumes, but also there are biotin supplements that can help. Just be careful though, because biotin supplementation may interfere with thyroid hormone blood tests, and this can be tricky if your doctor is in the process of trying to adjust or regulate your medication. So watch out for that. But however, I have seen a lot of people notice improvement in their hair health when they've started to take a supplement that contains biotin. Another really important nutrient for hair health is zinc. So deficiencies in the mineral of zinc are pretty common and usually associated with skin, hair, nail conditions. And low levels of zinc may also be another reason why some women experience premature graying. Zinc is found in red meat, in shellfish, certain mushrooms, nuts and seeds, legumes, and spinach, and these are all really great sources for zinc. But again, supplementing with a zinc vitamin supplement may be necessary if you're really experiencing a lot of challenges with your hair, and especially if you're experiencing premature graying. So these are my top 3 supplements to look for in foods, to look for in nutrients, to help restore some of the vitamin and mineral deficiencies that may be associated with your hair bad days, associated with your Hashimoto's. But please go over to my blog post where you can read more about some other nutrients, as well as some other help in guiding you through this very hairy time. I wish you luck. I wish you the best in restoring those beautiful, luscious locks. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. And don't forget, sign up to get on my wait list for Nourished and Renewed so you can be one of the very first people to sign up when this program goes live, and you can get 30 days of online tutorials, including lots of great handouts, lots of great resources to get you through your entire Hashimoto's journey. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.